Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Peace, everybody. Sweet Science Boxing Academy. We back with another video. All right, man. So Ryan Garcia just got the big win over Mario Barrios this past weekend, making him the new WBC welterweight champion of the world. And he's living off that fight. He dropped Barrios in the first round in the first few seconds, which I thought was pretty good. He was starting to look like the Ryan of old, but I've mentioned before, Mario Barrios, no disrespect to him, but he kind of was like the weakest link of the bunch. And don't get me wrong, he been inside there with some good fighters. He been in there with Tank. He been in there with Keith Thurman. He been in there with Pacquiao. But Barrios, he's just like your standard fighter. No, like Floyd Mayweather would say, no special effects. He's just your standard boxer who does the fundamentals right. Which you do need, because the fundamentals would take you far. I mean, it took him to become a 2-division world champion. So, that's good for Barrios. But Ryan, he beat him, and now he on the bigger and better things. But it's one person who's calling Ryan Garcia out right now who's looking for that smoke, and that is Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he just did an interview with Fight Hub TV, and he said that he's ready to move up to 147, and he ready to take on Ryan Garcia. Now, there was talks about a potential fight between Pitbull Cruz and Ryan Garcia when they both was fighting at 140, which, officially right now, Isaac still do fight at 140. But that fight never came to fruition. There was a lot of talks about it. Garcia and he was alluding to the fact that Isaac Pitbull was ducking. Isaac and said that they wasn't serious about fighting him. They was just talking. So it was a lot of, he say, she say type stuff. But off of the current, publicity that Ryan got, I think Isaac, he wants some of that smoke. And I think Isaac believed that because both of them got a common opponent, which is Gervonta Tank Davis. Because when they both was fighting Tank, Isaac actually gave Tank his first toughest fight, before the whole Lamont Roach thing. But a lot of people thought that Isaac actually beat that fight. For real, for real. I got to go back and look at it, because I think Tank, from back, I haven't seen that fight in a while, but from back what I can remember, I think Tank did edge it out. But y'all hear my words, he edged it out. It wasn't a clear-cut victory. Like, if he would have given it to Pitbull, then, I would have said, well, yeah, he won because it was that type of fight. But when Ryan fought Tank, he got knocked out. First, he got dropped with a body shot. First he got dropped with the left, and then he got stopped with a body shot. But you can argue that Tank weight drained him, because Ryan had moved up to 140, but when he fought Tank, it was at 136, and it was at there was a catch weight, and there was a weight limit. Ryan can't move up, a specific weight during a fight. So, he was saying that he was depleted of water, of muscle and everything, which you can make a good argument with that. But just giving off the optics, that fight between Tank and Ryan, Tank and Ryan and Tank and Pitbull did better. So Pitbull probably looking at it like, well, If I did that to Tank, I can definitely do that to Ryan Garcia because he's nothing. Which I tell you all, the triangle theory does not work in boxing. That's something that people gotta understand. Just because you beat him or you did better in a fight with this person and he did terrible with that person, that don't mean if you fight him, you're gonna look good on him because he just might actually beat you. But this is why we gotta see fights like this because you just never know. And if Pitbull come with that same type of veracity, he can possibly beat Ryan Garcia too because of his style. Like Pitbull got one of them styles, he just come forward and just be mauling on you. But it's not like unskillful. He's doing it with finesse and skills and stuff too. We just seen him have a draw with Lamont Roach, which I actually thought that Roach edged that fight out, but you know they really promoting Pitbull really hard, so they gifted him with a draw. But I thought that Lamont Roach beat. But with that being said, tell you all the time, styles make fights. Ryan Garcia, not Lamont Roach, so he don't got the feet, he don't got the angles. He don't got none of the stuff that Lamont Roach got. Ryan, he got fast hands. He got that left hook. He's showing a right hand in the Barrios fight. That was something different and nuanced. But I think the most important thing that he needs, especially fighting with a Pitbull Cruz, is feet. He gonna need them feet. He gonna need them angles. He gonna need lateral movement. That's what got Tank over the edge. Because if Tank didn't have that, I think that Pitbull would have stopped Tank for real, or at least hurt him real bad. And Ryan, everything that he's learning now, the people that he's training with and everything, he's still not learning like lateral movement, foot movement. And that's going to catch up with him. I believe so. Even if he did fight Pitbull Cruz and he just so happened to beat, that lack of lateral movement is going to catch up with him. And he's going to get inside the ring with the right person and they're going to expose all that. But with that being said, I think it's a great fight. I think it's a hell of a fight because they both going to come forward. Ryan ain't really got no choice but to come forward because it's not like he can move on ankles and stuff. And I think somebody going to get knocked out in that fight or get dropped. Kind of like with Rolly Romero. And shoot, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, Rolly Romero is a common opponent too. Rolly lost. Rolly lost to Pitbull Cruz. Got stopped. But Rolly beat Ryan Garcia. So I think Pitbull Cruz, actually, he probably looking at that fight as a gauge, as something to gauge on. Maybe the Tank too, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, maybe Pitbull Cruz is looking at that fight with Rolly because that was more recent. And like, you know what? I stopped Rolly and Rolly just beat this dude up. So I can beat him up. I can probably stop him too. Yeah, that would be real good. So we gonna have to see. And Pitbull is a big guy. Like he look real swollen. He's real stocky, compact, like thick, like how Canelo is. He's not that tall, but he's wide. So I think going up to 47 really won't be a problem for him. Like how it probably would be for Shakur Stevenson, who's not, real, don't got a lot of mass on him. He got the height, but he ain't got a lot of mass, like a Pitbull Cruz. So if this fight happened, may the best man win. I won't say who I got winning that fight right now, because I got to see more details on it. But if they make it happen, they announce it, then I'll give y'all my prediction for the fight. I'll make a separate video talking about it. So we just gotta wait and see because it's just all talks right now. But that's all I got for now, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Drop y'all comments down below. Make sure I hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see y'all the next one. Peace.